I have a feeling that my girlfriend is cheating on me. Welcome to Castable. Friends, comment what you think about this story, share your experiences, also give me like, subscribe and click on the bell for more Castable stories. TLDR, I have found almost all the signs that my girlfriend is cheating, but she says I am imagining everything in my head. Is this a typical tactic? Have any of you thought you saw smoke but nothing was really going on? My 45-year-old girlfriend of almost 2 years of relation and me 43, we have been going for a while with our relationship not going well. My youngest child, with another woman, was severely ill from COVID and hospitalized for 4 days recently. A week after he got out, my girlfriend's daughter moved away for college, so she's having empty nest syndrome. My girlfriend is an elementary school teacher. When her services started at her school, she came into work 45 minutes early and left almost 2 hours late. In the last almost 2 years this never happened. She would get to work a few minutes early and leave just after school dismissed. The second day of in-service I noticed there was a single pair of panties in the laundry room basket that appeared after she got home. They were pretty panties and not the usual ones she wears to work. They were also quite wet. Sorry for the visual, but it's relevant because she always wears liners to work. Always. I noticed she was standoffish, and when I went in for a kiss she turned her cheek and said she needed to brush her teeth, which is odd. That night I tried to have relationships and she acted weird. After a few minutes he said it hurt deep inside, so I stopped. That never happens either. I'm above average and she can usually take it with no discomfort. The next day she went to work early and stayed late. When she got home she smelled like cigarette smoke and went to clean up as soon as she walked in. She doesn't smoke. The next day she went in early and stayed late. When she got home she had something that looked like a burn blister on her face. She said she pulled some dead skin off, but it's a round area the size of a pinky fingertip and looks exactly like a burn. I found another pair of pretty panties that she took off and washed separately from our clothes that night. The next day I just asked if she was cheating. She instantly got mad and said I never listened to her and she's depressed. I told her why I feel she did and she just said she had a lot to do at work. She said she had an accident in her panties and that's why they were by themselves. I asked her about the other pair and she said she didn't remember a second pair. She again turned it on me and said all she wants is some attention and affection from me. I held her and told her that her feeling like I'm not listening or giving her affection is how the door gets open to someone new. She nodded her head in silence and a few minutes later she just started crying, full on crying. I've never seen her do this before. I asked what was wrong and she said she was just tired and very depressed and needed some sleep. The next day she stayed late and now I'm on high alert because of everything that's happening. She has almost all the signs of someone cheating. That evening I tried to initiate relationships but she said it hurt. There was also a strange clear discharge that smelled very much like milk. It may have been her own, but it has not looked or smelled like that since we've been together. No era el olor de una infección por hongos, era muy parecido a leche. I stopped and went to clean up and she sat on the bed steaming. He pounced on my body for a silly thing and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I told her I feel like she's up to something and I'm moving out. She asked to look through my phone and I handed it to her. She looked and after not finding anything she could throw at me she started asking about a girl that liked a FB post. Asking me if her and I had relationships. I told her I can't believe she's grasping that hard and I immediately went into every communication I've ever had with this girl on Facebook. She's a family friend and nothing more. I told her she obviously trying to throw shade and she said she would do anything to prove to me she isn't cheating. She said she'll put a camera in her classroom if she has to. I was fed up and just left. The next day she continued begging and telling me she'll do anything to prove she isn't cheating. I mentioned the camera and she blew up. She said I was crazy for even mentioning it, even though it was her idea. I can't force her to prove herself and she seems unwilling and defensive when it comes down to brass tacks and nails. I asked him if he planned to go to the doctor about his problem and he said he would, for me. They did a transvaginal ultrasound and found nothing out of the ordinary. She started her period the next day and she hasn't been going in early or staying late. I know for a fact she has cheated on 2 of her exes with principals. Her current principal is a woman, but the 2 assistant principals are males. One assistant principal is new there and one has been there forever. Can anyone help steer me into finding some actual proof, or does it seem like I have all the proof I need? She says it's all in my head and I'm just projecting something that isn't true. Thank you for the advice. Friends, comment what you think about this story, share your experiences, also give me like, subscribe and click on the bell for more Castable stories. Opinions. 1. Smells like a duck, quacks like a duck. You know the rest. She is a serial cheater. 2. You don't need our input, you need an attorney. Stop making accusations and start keeping very detailed notes. I would just show up at the school when she doesn't come home just to document that she's not actually there or what's actually happening while there. If y'all don't share locations digitally, and it's legal where you are, you may want to consider putting a tracker on her vehicle. Don't do a tracker if it's not legal, it'll cost you way more than it's worth. Like jail. Also, stop trying to be imitate with her, you're going to get STI. She obviously isn't practicing safe relationships outside your marriage. 3. You know and we know she is banging with another dude. Nice knickers on only on certain days, coming back stained, but she went in early and came home who's late. So he refuses to kiss you and you're paying that night for no known reason. How many red flags do you need? Everyone can see it but you don't want to believe it. So, either wake up now or get complicated for the rest of your life. She is only a GF, so do yourself a real favor, go move out and forget her. Her past is riddled with infidelity and cheating and she still hasn't changed, so why should she be any different now after all this? Go on. 4. Why didn't you ask for her phone when she demanded yours? OP, that's the only thing that isn't a sign. She doesn't guard her phone or even have a lock. I know this means nothing really because she has other ways to communicate with coworkers, and if they're married they know how to cover their tracks as well. 5. Check her phone records and see if there is a number she frequently calls that you do not recognize, then call it. OP, I did ask for phone records. She printed them but I don't see anything out of the ordinary unless she's cheating with someone whose name is hidden in her contacts under another name. No pattern though of texting or calling the days she was late. She could be just communicating at work though, she also has Snapchat. 6. Yeah, I was thinking Snapchat or Kik or another cheater app. But it sounds like it's someone at work. It seems like it would be easier to just break up with you and start a relationship with the coworker. But, cheaters live the thrill of the game. The sneaking around, the lies, the almost getting caught, the feeling of superiority that you are smarter than your partner. All of that can be very intoxicating. Like the fighter pilots who returned from WW2. They were always seeking that adrenaline rush and they found it to motorcycles and formed motorcycle gangs. Cheaters crave that feeling. Many describe it like being addictive. Good luck OP. 7. You already know the score, but I guess you're not satisfied until it's shouting out loud. Yes, she's been burning the midnight oil at school, trying to get herself ready for class projects. The assistant lent her his pencil for practice too. If you have to worry, it's not worth the hassle. Let her go. 8. Trust your gut. It sounds like she is gaslighting and then doubling down on it. There is a lot of truth that once a cheater, always a cheater. If it were me I would move on, you can't believe anything she tells you at this point and you have physical evidence. 9. The moment a woman avoids relations with her husband out of the blue is definitely a point of infidelity. She didn't want to kiss right after she sucked another cucumber, she feels dirty and wants to clean the smell and taste of the other person. She definitely 1000% cheated on you and she must be single if she wants to have relationships with all the directors she works with. Why does she want a partner to come home to, just be cheat on them? I would leave and stay gone. Let some other man deal with her BS. Friends, comment what you think about this story, share your experiences, also give me like, subscribe and click on the bell for more Castable stories.